week, you're going to be talking about, or you're going to be studying about metric and, well, not metric, customary measurements. Metric, we're not going to cover this week. You're going to do customary metric. And let's read, it says T 4.A and B is to identify and convert measurements with the same measurement system from a smaller unit to a larger unit, or you can flip it around and go to larger to small. If you look right here, these are 3 different ways that we have done it in the classroom, where we make our table and we put our feet and our rule and our inches. There's another way that we also look at it. We try to talk about horse to fly. You would what? Somebody let me know. Horse to fly.
Multiply.
Multiply. Fly to horse, you would do what?
Divide, of course.
Divide, of course. And then we have this one that we've done where it says big to small. Isn't it the same thing, horse? Because horse is bigger than fly. You multiply, and then small to big, because fly to horse is smaller. So you would divide. 3 different ways. Right now, we're going to practice doing this one. It is important for us to find our rule, correct? So what if I said, somebody give me a feet. Let me see. What if I said 12 feet? And we want to go to inches. How do I know this? Somebody tell me. What rule would I use here? How would I go from here to here? What do you have to find out first, Natalie? If I'm going from feet to inches, Natalie, can you see that? If I'm going from feet to inches, what's my rule?
Divide.
Why would you divide? Which one's bigger, Natalie? Feet or inches?
Feet.
Feet. So horse to fly, I would do what?
Multiply.
Multiply. You have to find your rule. Well, another thing that you have to find is how many inches in 1. Remember that you're always trying to find out for 1.
Yes.
So I decided I should have put the 1 first. So if I should decided 1 times 1, 1 foot equals how many inches? In a ruler, you have a ruler. How many inches is in 1, Natalie?
12.
12. So now I know my rule, don't I? Everything I need to do is times 12, correct? So now I can go here 12 times 24 times 12 to find out how many inches that is. So somebody tell me what that would be. 24 times 12. Jalen, are you working this out? Jaden? Anybody? 2 digits times 2 digit? AJ?
$288.
Thank you, AJ, 288. Now, boys and girls, we're not going to go that high in our lessons, but I did want you to see, don't forget if you need to do your table, if you need to start saying horse to fly, to convert them to a smaller number or to a bigger number. Now, we're going to look at, I'm going to have another thing that we look here. This one is like your reference paper. your customary, your length, and your metric. On these lessons, you are not going to be doing metric. You're only going to be doing your customary. Like 1 mile equals 1,760 yards. 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. And also make sure you're getting your abbreviation. 1 yard equals 3 feet. 1 yard equals 36 inches. 1 foot equals 12 inches. If you look here, I did a little ruler. 1 ruler equals 12 inches, 1 foot. But then if I have 3 rulers, what does that give me? When we put 3 rulers together, what does it make?
1 yard.
1 yard, which is 36 inches. 3 feet equals 1 yard. So now I'm gonna go and look at the lessons that y'all are doing for today. Let's see if I can get it. And the kids that took their packet home, your lesson looks like this, so you can look at it and follow along. This is kind of like what I just did with the ruler. 1 foot. Look, it says 1 foot equals 12 inches. And you keep going. So we're going to do some of these questions together. It says convert a large number to a smaller. If I'm going from large to big, which one? I'm going from big to small. What do I have to do?
Multiply.
Multiply. It's got it right there on your paper. It's multiplying. The first thing I have to do is I have to find the first one, right? So 1 times what equals 12?
1 times 12 equals 12.
12. So my rule is to what?
Multiply by 12.
Multiply by 12. And then you know that you would set it here, correct? Multiply by 12. And I believe that's the way you have it on your paper. So if I have to multiply by 12, what would it be? It says Emma has 4 feet of thread to make some bracelets. How many inches of thread does Emma have? Since 1 foot is 12 times, as long as 1 inch, you can write feet as inches. So you would multiply. It tells you what to do, boys and girls. It says to multiply feet by 12. So you told me that 1 foot times 12 equals 12 inches, correct? But what do they want to know? What is the question asking you to tell me? Layla? What is the question asking you to tell me? So Emma has how many inches of thread? So where are you, Layla? Anybody? Layla, what's 4 times 12? That's all it's asking is what's 4 times 12 because they gave you the rule.
48.
Who said 4 times 12 is what, Layla?
48.
48. That is correct, Layla. So she needs 48. Boys and girls, if you're doing the packet, if you're doing online, these are exactly alike. This is, if you're doing the packet, this is the one you're doing. If you're doing online, it looks just like this. So if we went from a smaller conversion to a larger conversion, it says Jason ran 300 feet during recess. How many yards did Jason run? What are we looking for in that question? Boys and girls, what are we looking for in that question?
How many yards Jason ran?
Yes. How many yards did Jason run? So if we're looking, if we're going from small to large, fly to horse, you would do what?
Divide, of course.
Divide, of course. And it has it right here already for you. They gave you 120 feet divided by 3. Can you tell me what that would be? 120 divided by 3. Boys and girls, if I look at that and I could say 120 divided by 3. Can 3 go into 1? I don't know if you can see it if I'm too far. Can 3 go into 1? No, but can it go into 12?
Yes.
Show me with your fingers how many times. How many times can 3 go into 12? Good job, Layla. I saw you 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Bring down your 0. Can 3 go into 0?
No.
No. So it'd be that. So what would be my 120 divided by 3? 40. But the question didn't ask that. The question asked for how much? 300. Somebody divide that. 300 feet divided by 3. Go. And tell me the answer. Write the answer. Something. Show me. Show me or tell me. Let's go.
100.
Good. Boys and girls, that is not hard to do when you have 3 divided into 300. You know 3 can't go into 0, but 3 can go into 3 one time. That was not hard. So that would be 300. That is correct. Let's look at this next one. If you're going 2 feet equals how many inches? Go to number 2 right here where I have it. And it's 2 feet and how many inches, boys and girls?
24 inches.
24 inches. Good job, Layla. Was that Layla or was that Kayleen? Kayleen?
It was Kayleen, not
Yes,
me.
good job, girl. Okay, so if I'm going from yards to feet, am I going big to small?
Yes.
Big. Diver, see you're shaking your head. Which one is it, babe?
Large to small would be the
Horse to fly.
you multiply.
So 3 times what?
3 times 12.
3 times 12 is what?
36.
36.
Oh God.
Is that right? But are we looking for inches or we're looking for feet? 3 yards is not 36. 1 yard is 36 inches. 3 yards. If I have 3 yards, 3 big yardsticks, they want to know how many feet on there. So what are you gonna have to do? Big to small.
You multiply.
Horse to fly, you.
Multiply.
Okay, but how many feet in 1 yard? Look, it's got it here on the picture. Here's your yard. How many feet? 3. So what is 3 times 3?
9. 9.
9. Boys and girls, just from waiting and listening to y'all, you have to start practicing on your multiplication. You have to continue practicing your multiplication, boys and girls. When you do this, take one day and pick one multiplication facts to work on. Say, for instance, do the 3s today. Do the 4s tomorrow. Continue practicing. I promise you, when you go to 5th grade, multiplying and dividing is a big thing. Continue doing this. I showed you basically all the lessons that you're going to be doing on your paper online. You have 2 other ones. Boys and girls, when you also turn in your lesson that says turn in, you might want to save it first and then turn it in just so you can have it, because you don't want to have to redo it if you haven't done it, okay? All right, well, I believe that is all for my class. Let me see how I get this. I'm gonna stop sharing and give it to Miss Kirkendall.
Good morning, guys. Okay. Good morning, everybody. So y'all should have read yesterday, Grand Canyon through time. It gives you a lot of visualizations. You can imagine exactly what it looks like. So you have to use your imagination a lot in this story. Is the Grand Canyon a real place, class?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, it is. So what genre do you think this story is?
Nonfiction.
Okay, but is it telling a story? Have you read it, Diver?
Yes.
Yes, it is. So it's a literary nonfiction text, which means that it's telling that story like a biography. And you all remember biographies, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we're going to go over these words. If you haven't read it, you need to read it. And then I'm going to show y'all a video. Okay?
Okay.
So remember, oh wait, I got to share my screen. Y'all can see these cards with me. We good? Everybody see the cards?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Our word is shatter. What is our word, class?
Shatter.
Shatter. Let's look at the picture. Think about what's happening. What happened?
He broke the glass.
How did he break the glass?
He was playing soccer.
Okay, probably playing soccer. That's got to be a hard kick. Okay, let's listen to the sentence and use your context clues to figure out what shatter means. Grayson saw the window shatter. What does shatter mean, class?
Break. He saw the glass.
How did it break?
He kicked the soccer ball and hit the window.
Right, but how did it break? Is it just like one single break, or is it a lot of little pieces?
A lot of little pieces.
A lot of little pieces. So when things shatter, they explode or suddenly break into pieces. What is our word?
Shatter.
Shatter. Okay. Next we have centuries. What is our word?
Century.
One more time.
Centuries.
Okay, let's look at the picture. What do you think is happening?
They're training to be guards.
Okay. All right, they could be training to be guards, or do you think they're on duty, maybe?
They're on duty.
Okay. So the sentence says, the palace has sentries standing guard in front of the gates. What do you think it means?
Guarding a place or something.
Okay.
Means like guards.
Right, guards. So sentries are guards or lookouts who stand in a place to keep watch. So what Diver and AJ said are correct. What is our word?
Centuries.
Sentries. Next we have chasm. What is the word?
Chasm.
Chasm, like a K. Chasm. Say it again.
Chasm.
Chasm. What's happening in the picture?
They're exploring a cave.
Oh, exploring a cave. Does it look like a cave or
It kind of looks like a canyon.
like a canyon maybe? Could be, because I see light up here. And I mean, that could be an opening of a cave, but there's kind of a lot of light and it looks open, right?
Yeah.
And what are we reading about?
Cave.
And a Grand Canyon, okay. So the hikers enjoy the beauty created by the chasm. What does this look like in the picture?
A riverine. What is it called? It looks like a big old crack in the earth.
A crack, right. So a chasm is a deep crack or an opening in the ground.
How did
What
they
is our word?
Chasm.
What does it mean?
a big crack of something?
Okay, or an opening in the ground. Next, we have glistens. What is our word?
Glisten.
Glistens. What's happening in the picture?
The sun's making everything sparkle.
Okay, sun's making, what is that sparkle?
A web?
It looks
A
like
web?
a web, right?
A spider web, yeah.
What's on the web?
Water drops.
Water
Water.
drop.
Okay, dew. So the sentence says, the dew-covered spider web glistens in the early morning sunshine. What does glisten mean?
Shine?
Shine. What else?
Blooming. No.
What did you say earlier, Diver?
I just completely forgot.
You said sparkling.
Yeah, sparkle.
So if something is glistening, it sparkles or shines. What is our word?
Glistens.
Glistens. What is our word?
Glistens.
Next word is embedded. What is our word?
Embed.
Say it again.
Embedded.
Embedded. Okay, let's look at the picture and see what's going on. Can anybody figure out what this is?
A clam?
Clam.
Close.
An oyster.
Clam with a pearl in its
Pearls.
mouth.
What did you say, AJ?
A clam that's puking.
Ew.
A clam with a pearl in its mouth.
Okay, good. So our sentence says, an oyster will create a pearl when a grain of sand becomes embedded in the soft tissue within its shell. So it looks super gross, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But what does it mean whenever the grain of sand becomes embedded in that shell?
That means it's stuck there.
Okay. It's
Stuck.
firmly
Stuck in
set.
the sand until somebody finds it.
Okay.
I don't
It's
know.
firmly set into something else that surrounds it. So it's like a part of that oyster, right?
Yes.
Okay, what is our word?
Embedded.
Embedded. Okay, our last word is eroding. What is the word?
Eroding.
Eroding. One more time.
Eroding.
Okay, let's see what's happening in the picture. What does it look like?
It looks like a waterfall, like a.
It looks beautiful.
Right? Okay.
Beautiful.
Now, think about how it was created. How that little waterfall and all those tall rocks, how were they created?
By the Earth's core or something?
No, where's the core at, Diver?
It's
In
in
the
the
center, right? This is on land.
a meteorite hit it.
Okay, possibly.
An earthquake, and it like made a crack, and like the mountains fell back, and a water stream went through it and made a waterfall.
Okay, y'all are on the right track, so let's listen to the sentence and see what y'all think. The rocks have been eroding for years as a result of the daily rush of water. The rocks have been eroding for years as a result of the daily rush of water.
Has been rotting.
Okay, that's another way to say it, is slowly wearing away. So I was thinking back to the poems that we read for those stalagmites and stalactites from the cave,
The
from the
rocks keep on
caverns.
creating different rocks.
Right, and then the water changes it, doesn't it? And then if it's on land and not in a cave, the wind is also helping that process. Okay, so it's slowly wearing away, often from wind or water or both. What is our word?
Eroding.
Eroding. Okay, good job, guys. Now I'm going to share a video with y'all that talks a little bit about erosion as well, so that'll help y'all understand how the Grand Canyon formed. Okay, guys, so make sure that you read that. Use your vocabulary words whenever you're writing your travel guide with Miss Massar. Make sure that you do your quiz tomorrow over the Grand Canyon, okay? If y'all have any questions, let me know. I'm gonna pass it on to Miss Massar.
All right, good morning, everybody. So this week, like Miss Kuykendall said, you guys are gonna be creating a travel brochure. And so this is our outline of what I expect you guys to do every day. Yesterday, I really hope you read your Grand Canyon text. Today, we're gonna go over the prompt and we're gonna look at 2 different ways that you can do this assignment. Tomorrow, we're gonna brainstorm, plan, and I expect you to write your rough drafts. Thursday, we're gonna, oops, I spelled revise wrong. So I'm going to revise and edit my poster real quick. We're going to revise, edit, and I expect to hear some details. I would like for y'all to share out some of what you're working on. This assignment is due Friday, and I would really prefer you email it to me, especially when you see the 2 different ways that you can do this assignment. So let's go ahead and let's check out what the assignment is, because it's a little bit different this week. So the prompt says, use what you learned from the text to write a travel guide for people who would like to visit the Grand Canyon. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. And I want you.
I can't see it.
I know somebody paused it. Can y'all see it now?
Yes.
Okay, let me see what's going on. Hold on. Recording. Okay, now that you guys can see the prompt again, I'm gonna stop and I'm looking at this first sentence that I just read. Use what you learned from the text to write a travel guide for people who would like to visit the Grand Canyon. I want us to look at that one sentence and I want us to pull apart, I want us to blurbitate. What is important about this prompt in that one sentence? What are we having you guys do? Come on. What am I making y'all do this week? Let's go. We're writing a what?
Travel guide.
We're writing a travel guide. Okay, Layla's done. She can't talk anymore. We're gonna pass the torch to somebody else. What are we writing a travel guide for? Are we going to Alaska? Are we going to China? Are we going to Japan? Grand Canyon. Who was that?
Me.
Diver, you're done.
Beaver.
Okay, here we go. Provide information. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed the most important part of this sentence. It says that we have to use what we learned from where?
I'll pass this way.
Next.
Use from the text. AJ, you're done. Thank you. All right, let's look at the next sentence. Provide information about what they can see and do, as well as facts about the canyon itself. Somebody tell me what's important. What are we going to give information about?
Facts about the canyon itself.
Facts about the canyon itself. Who was that? Kayleen, you're done. Good girl. Yeah, we're going to give facts about the canyon, but what else are we going to do, Natalie? We're not just giving facts about the canyon. We've got to give information about what people can what?
Do at the canyon.
Do is one of them. What's the other thing? Look at the screen. What they can do and
See.
see and do. Very good. Natalie, you're good. Remember that a travel guide should encourage people to visit the location. What is a travel guide going to do? Jaden? Jordan? I haven't heard from you guys. Zaylee, haven't heard from you. What's a travel guide going to do? What did Miss Massard just read? Remember that a travel guide should encourage people to visit the location. What is a travel guide going to do, Jaden? Zaylee?
Jaden, put your mic down. We didn't hear you.
Jaden, go ahead.
To encourage people to visit the location.
What does that mean, babe? If I'm encouraging you to visit the location, what am I doing? What do I want you to do?
To
To do what? I want you to
go.
I want you to go there. So, okay, this is open to everybody. So if I want you to go there, how am I going to talk about this place? Am I going to say lots of good things, or am I going to say lots of bad things?
Good things.
Lots of good things.
Why am I going to say lots of good things about the Grand Canyon?
So people can go and visit the Grand Canyon. If
Why
you
am
say
I-
bad things, they would think that it's a bad place to go and visit.
That's exactly right. Awesome job, Natalie. Yeah, we're technically writing a persuasive piece here. So when you're persuading somebody to do something, you want them to think like you. So we're persuading people to go to the Grand Canyon. That means when we're writing our travel guide, we have to describe the Grand Canyon as if it was the best place in the entire world. If I mention anything negative about the Grand Canyon, people are not going to want to go there. And that's the whole purpose of a travel guide, boys and girls. Travel guides are pieces of information that persuade. They're like an advertisement. They try to get people to go to those places. And tomorrow we're going to watch some videos for different national parks to get some ideas. We're also going to look at some different brochures so that you guys get an example of what that is. Now, I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to... So that was the prompt. We're going to look at 2 different ways that you can do this assignment. So the first way is actually an email or not an email, but an assignment that I got from Layla. So Layla went ahead and she did her assignment a little bit early, and it looks like this is what she turned in. So Layla actually took a piece of notebook paper and she made a burrito fold. Remember that? The trifold that we make in class. And she made her own brochure. So here's the title of her brochure, The Grand Canyon by Layla. And then she also did the inside. So she has some text here, she has some text here, and she has some text here. That's one way that you can choose to do this assignment. So you could take pictures of it and you could email those pictures to me. You could also do like what I did. So this is my example. Of how I did it. And you'll notice that I did brochure in quotation marks because I'm being a little bit silly. This is not a brochure, this is a composition, because it's a little bit easier to do it this way. So visit Garner State Park. So this is a state park that I used to visit a lot when I was y'all's age. It's located in Central Texas in the Hill Country. So you'll notice that I have 4 paragraphs here. That's because I took the prompt and I have a paragraph that tells me what I can see there, and I have a paragraph that tells me what I can do there. So it says, in my introduction, hidden away in the Texas Hill Country is a state gem called Garner State Park. Each summer, hundreds of people visit the park. You should be one of them. Boys and girls, that's my central idea statement right here. You should be one of them. You have to have a sentence, whether you're doing this way or you're doing like Layla did, you have to have a sentence that says something to the effect of, you should visit the Grand Canyon. If I don't see that sentence, remember, then your paper's off topic. So that's the sentence that tells the reader everything they need to know about the paper. And if everything we need to know about the paper is that it's a brochure persuading you to visit the Grand Canyon, I need a sentence that says that. So then I go into everything that you can see there. So there are so many amazing, beautiful spectacles to see in the park. And look, Miss R made a mistake. I almost wrote my most hated word, thing, and I had to cross it out, and I had to use my brain to come up with a better word for thing. And so I chose spectacles. There are so many amazing, beautiful spectacles to see in the park. First, there are the massive hills that surround the whole park. They're giant and tower into the sky as high as clouds. That is a fact about Garner State Park. Garner State Park is located in the Texas Hill Country. It's a state park where the river runs through the middle of it, and there's giant hills all around it. So that's a fact that I pulled from a Wikipedia article and from my brain about Garner State Park. And that's what your prompt wants you to do. It wants you to include facts about the Grand Canyon. Also, there is the Crystal Frio River to look at. That's another fact. I can prove that the Frio River is there in Garner State Park, just like I can prove that the Colorado River is at the Grand Canyon. The water is as clear as glass and stretches for miles through the camps. Finally, don't forget all the wildlife you can see. If you're lucky, you'll come up close with a family of deer. This park has the best features to see. So this whole paragraph, I'm describing what you can see at the park. And then I'm going to move on. And you can see that I'm adding details because I use the transition word in addition. So I'm moving on, and I'm going to give you extra information about the things that you can do at the park. So in addition, there's so many amazing activities to do at Garner Park. Everyone loves to jump in the river and swim all day. You can even tube from one end of the park to the other. Taking all the rapids at top speed is the best. Garner Park is full of fun activities. Then I have my conclusion. Can't you just see yourself there? Visit Garner State Park as soon as possible. And I included a map, because one of the things that the prompt says to do is to include graphic features to help support the details that you have in your brochure or travel guide. So I put a map of how to get to Garner State Park. Boys and girls, remember that when we are writing paragraphs like this, we go back to our 5 steps of how to write a paragraph. The first thing that we do is we write our main idea, topic, sentence from our plan, and we will be building plans tomorrow. After we do that sentence, we give an example of our topic sentence. Then we're going to describe it, and we're going to be as specific as possible. Then we're going to describe it in another way, being as specific as possible. At the very end, we're going to give our opinion of our topic. So the reason why I go over that is because the assignments that we've had these last couple of weeks have been paragraph assignments, where you're just writing one paragraph and turning it in. This assignment is not like that. You are not writing one paragraph and done. You are writing a composition. Even that brochure counts as a composition. When you look back at Layla's brochure, she has 3 paragraphs here. Even though they're separated onto different sections of the paper, this is a paragraph, this is a paragraph, this is a paragraph. When you look at my paper, I have 4 paragraphs. That is my expectation for you this week. So you are really, 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 really going to have to be on the ball of doing a little bit every single day, because on Friday, if you turn in a single paragraph, you are not going to get the grade that you are expecting. And I will be texting your parents asking for you to redo it. My expectation is 4 paragraphs or a brochure with 4 sections. Does everybody understand that? Yes? No? Maybe so.
Yes.
Okay, I will be looking for this. Or do you have any questions for me, for Miss Kay, or for Miss Molina?
I got a question for you, Ms. Bassar.
Yes, sir.
When you drew that picture on the bottom, do we have to draw like a map of where the Grand Canyon is, or?
If you choose to. You do not have to. I'm not going to be grading for pictures this time. I am going to be grading for paragraphs. That would
I
just
have
be
a
your choice.
question
Yes.
for the kiddos. What is y'all's author's purpose for writing this travel guide or travel brochure? What's your purpose as the, what are you trying to do?
It like 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Since I
this.
totally gave y'all this answer.
To make people go to Grand Canyon.
To make people go to the Grand Canyon. So you're persuading. Give me another word. Give me a synonym.
Encourage.
Encourage. Good. Convince. You're people to go. Okay, good job, guys. Just wanted to make sure you knew.
Okay, any other questions before we close out? If you need help, feel free to get your parents to class tag me, to email me. If I need to, I can help you at any time. Now, before we leave,